Yeah, just before we kick into some of the questions that we want to raise on today's session, let's just hear a little bit about each of the panel. But just kicking off, as I was introduced as Chris McIntosh, the Chief Operations Officer of CCU. I'm near on 30 years in operations, so I've kind of seen it from the old days now to the new days, and I find this particular topic very, very exciting. I'm always very, very keen to hear other people's thoughts, because it's an ever-changing industry, it's an ever-changing process. My key interests really are in obviously revenue enhancement or revenue saving. At the same time, keeping it close on quality, and obviously at the end of the day, it's what our customers think and want. So very much NPS and CGSAT, etc. So let me ask for each of the panels to give a little bit of an overview on them, and really what they're all about today as well. So let me start with you, Sifa, if I can.
Yeah, hi, my name is Sitartini Raju, or you can just call me Sita Raju. I'm actually the Lean Digital Executive Director for Standard Chartered Bank. I've got working experiences over 22 years, 15 years of experience as a change advocate, and also client experience, mapping client journey. So my current role primarily focus on optimization, via lean reviews, leveraging of artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotic process automation, and also data analytics and insight in terms of, finding opportunities for automation. Yeah. Back to you, Chris.
That was wonderful. Thank you. How about you, Andika, if you don't mind me calling you Andika? Have I put that right? Sure.
That's fine, Chris. Yeah, my name is Andika. You can call me, Andika, of course. So I work as head of AI department in Bank Rakyat Indonesia, or normally we call it BRI, one of the largest banks in Indonesia. So my department overseeing all of the AI implementation and initiative in BRI. We have around 150 million users across Indonesia, and how we can integrate AI into different channel of our bank, whether it's conventional or digital channel. And one of the concern, of course, the contact center. One of the main or the essential element of banking, I think that's a little bit about myself, Chris.
Lovely, superb. So I've got questions I want to ask each of you, but what I would like to suggest is, if anybody also has any thoughts on the other person's question, please also let's integrate it here and kind of keep the flow open. And I would ask anybody in the audience, if they've got any questions or even any views themselves, as we're told earlier, please put them in the Q&A, and I will try and pick up and raise them as we go forward. All right, so let me start. Let me kick off, if I can. We go ladies first, if you don't mind, Sifa. My first question is, can you kind of talk me through what you see as the benefits of conversational AI in contact centers?
Yeah, sure, Chris. But before I talk through the benefits, right, I am just going to give it as a benefit of doubt on what is conversational AI. Because a lot of people probably have a different understanding, and it can be misconstrued to robotic process automation, which is actually two different, ball game altogether. So your conversational AI is an artificial intelligence, that enables computers to have a natural conversation, with humans. Like how today, if you go into chat, when a human is actually chatting with you, they're reading that, but this is actually automated, and a bot is actually predicting your conversation, a client's conversation, and what is the output or result or information that they're looking for, and actually fetches that information from wherever or however it is coded. And it relies heavily on machine learning. So when I say machine learning, it's basically a component, it's a subcomponent of AI, where the machine or the bot is actually taught, just like how we go through, different educational phases in our life, the same way the machine will go through that, and also relies on natural language processing to create chatbots that can actually understand a human conversation. So the technology that conversational AI can actually offer is very much personalized experience to the customer. Okay, so some of the benefits that you actually can get from having conversational AI or automation within contact center, especially, is obviously you will be able to give them a superior customer service, because chatbots are often considered as superstar of AI for customer service. And these digital helpers are actually capable of many things. They can make client journey very seamless, because I now can actually connect omni-channel. I can actually, I'm as a bot, as a chatbot, I should have, if that is how it's been mapped or, built, I will have information of the client whichever touch point they have been, in the last 1 year, for example. Okay, if there is a sales based on the client behavior, I can tap into, their sales data, their hovering over website data, and also maybe their behavioral data, I'd say. So that way, I'm able to actually, as a chatbot, I am able to intelligently help the client, instead of just looking at your like conventional chatbot, where I'm able to just look at a content, predict it, and then give you an output. So that's one thing. You're able to actually give superior customer service, where if there has been a complaint that has been logged, or based on your complaint history as a client, they're able to actually channel you to the right agent or right channel for you to have faster turnaround time in terms of resolution. That's actually agent efficiency. And it's also easy scalability in the sense that conversational AI is actually very easy to scale. Contact centers today, they need evolved, cutting edge service that, which is as per the market benchmark or better than your competitor, and they're able to actually handle various tasks. For example, there are tools out there or companies that are actually using AI-driven predictive behavioral routing to connect customers and agents, like how I spoke just now. And also they're able to actually give that data that they collect from the conversation, readily available for it to be used after service. Today, one of your biggest challenge is actually being from the technology team. I'm pretty sure Andika can actually jump in. Data is actually sitting everywhere, but we don't know how to tap into it. There is no connectivity between the data. So data is always speaking silo language. And so I'm not able to actually look at a client and go like, look, hey, Mr. X, I know this is what was your issue before, but do you know that we actually have got a new product, within our company, and a new service that we can actually give you. So I don't need, as a client, I don't need to actually go to different channels or, being contacted by different people to give me what I need. And obviously, that boils down to more consistent customer service, and also you have improvised KPI, within your team itself, because chatbots don't only benefit client journeys, but it also benefits, your internal clients, which are basically your teams. Today, if I take all the different touch points, technology, for example, your back-end office, your contact center, sales, or even your marketing team, I'm not able to sit in a room with a data that's unified for me to actually identify within an hour what can be actually launched next, what will be more beneficial to which client demographics. This data is not available, and also this data will be very, very beneficial to actually assess performance within your contact center as well. Are we actually wasting money or investing money in the wrong initiatives, for example? All this data, there's lots of data that you actually can collect via conversational AI chatbots.
Okay.
For client and also your internal teams, yeah.
Yeah, no, superb. I mean, very, very extensively answered there, and I'd like to, thank you for the start point, the explanation, because I do believe, coming from the operational side, there is a lot of ambiguity, between decision makers' understanding, as you said, between, say, the AI side and the robotic side. So, clearly, I think the world market, needs kind of more education in terms of trying to explain where it fits, because it just creates a massive fear in the industry, in terms of hyper, people are going to lose jobs, etc. But it's nothing to do with that. So anyway, let's expand. Let's expand on that question if we can. If we can come to you, Andika, what do you kind of see then as the hyper personalization of every interaction, with conversational AI?
Yeah, thank you, Chris. So yes, it's a really, really a great introduction for this forum. So appreciate that. I will just extend it to the hyper personalization of AI, because yeah, basically, well, I can see AI have like two benefits. I think it's either automating or augmenting. The hyper personalization stuff would be lying under the augmenting things, right? So basically, yeah, the hyper personalization, it's like it's the same thing. It's something that is, I think, bring from the application. For instance, like Netflix, for instance. AI can bring like product like movie recommendation to us, so that we can watch something that we want to watch, right, based on our characteristic, our interest, and all. So the same thing with contact center, right? So how about we use video recording or audio recording and utilize that to have a model that can guide our human agent in our contact center to say something that really something that is what the customer want to hear. So probably there will be something that is beyond what machine can do, but there's something that I think data can give insights to the human agent, such that they can not exactly, probably not exactly what the machine predict or estimate or generate from their output, but at least they have some insights. Okay, so based on their understanding, based on the historical data, okay, this is something that probably that you need to say. But of course, there's a human oversight. They can say if they're not comfortable, they can have decision, but at least that we have something that guide them based on the data that we have from our historical data. So I think that's that kind of thing that I think we need to leverage. And of course, there's some limitation, as I said before. But I think this is something that is probably also aligned with lean management. Because if we have some like guidance, real time, like cooperating with the human agent, that we can have we can guide the quality of the call, because we have the guidance real time based on the data, based on the machine learning model, based on the NLP model that can accompany our human agents. And also complement their experience as the contact center agents. So I think that kind of things that I think we should leverage to emphasize or to enforce the high personalization. Because I think that kind of things really valuable if we look at Netflix, or we look at or e-commerce's websites. Here personalization is really useful.
Okay, great, smashing, mate. Listen, Sitar, you spoke very passionately before, when we talked about the benefits. So I'm going to ask you something now, where I hope we're going to glean a massive amount here. I mean, in terms of your thoughts, what's your thoughts on transforming and unifying client journeys via conversational AI?
Okay, so I think that upcoming trend. There are lots of companies or organizations that are finding ways, one, to transform the client journey, and they're basically looking at different technologies to do that, along with obviously the human army. All right. So I'll give you an example instead of actually giving you my thought of a brand that I'm pretty sure a lot of people use, even from the participants. Sephora. Okay. Today, Sephora actually carries many brands. They have their own in-house brands, but what have made the difference and why people prefer to actually buy even other brands, which is not their in-house brand. For example, MAC, for example, there's many out there, right? Clinique, Pat McGrath, lots of it. I personally prefer going there because I lead a very busy life, and so for me to actually go take time, shop around for the colors, for whatever not, in terms of beauty regime and everything, it's very difficult for me. So what Sephora has done to actually transform their customer journey is, hey, you just walk into my store if you really need to. Else, why don't you actually use our AI, conversational chatbots to understand, one, where would you like to go if you do want to come into store? They do have this chatbot, available now globally. It'll actually using I think a lot of companies do that, using your location. It's able to give you, the distance and everything. That's one thing, because in contact center, because I have worked as an agent in contact center before. That's how I started, in the banking industry, right? Many a times, especially if it's a foreign bank or a global bank, they will call and the first thing ask is, I'm staying here and here, what is my nearest location? And today, I'm proud to say that my organization, at a click of a button, the client can actually get that. So going back to Sephora, that's one thing that they've done. But the other thing, which is state of art, is actually using they've got this capability where I'm able to color match. I'm able to actually allow a client to test the colors just by showing their face on the camera that's provided. Now, and then they continue with basically conversation, through the chatbot itself. So it allows me to actually place orders online. And trust me, their e-commerce platform sales have actually increased by 33%, when they actually launched this early 2015 actually. Yeah. 2015, and I can now even purchase Sephora by just sitting, doing this meeting with you. I just need to off my camera and actually do that purchase, because I do need to actually use my mobile device, just see if that lipstick color suits me, or basically by scanning my face, it's able to tell me, what is my skin condition, or for my skin tone, what exactly is available in store or online. So this is actually, simply put, a state-of-the-art transformation of client journey using conversational AI itself. Or when I actually tell them this is what I want, it actually tells me what are the products that's already available. So honestly, a lot of us actually think that conversational AI is only used in contact centers. It is not. It's also being used, or banks. It is being used in many industries as early as the early 2000s. Simple AI conversations that has been used for client transformation of client journey is your Agoda, your Airbnb, all of this, where when you actually go back and you type in, when you're chatting with the chatbot, it's able to just give you results, of your previous search, of, how many cities you've gone to, things like that. And based on that, it gives you more accurate results of what is wanted. So that makes client journey itself seamless. That's one thing. The other important point for client journey is not having to go through lots of touch points. In contact center, for example, if I want to apply for a credit card, I go into the chatbot, or today when I'm chatting with the human agents, I'm telling them this is what happened to my card, or I need a replacement and everything. In order for the replacement to take, till today, there are banks or even organizations that actually takes 2 weeks. You have got banks like Citibank that is able to actually give it to you within 4 hours. But this is where the difference comes in transforming client journey. How is one organization able to do that with very minimal touch points, literally 2 touch points between the client and also the bank, where client actually feel like, okay, no matter who I deal with, I'm dealing with Citibank, versus an organization that is actually having to go through 4, 5, or even 8 touch points. So yeah. So that is what, you basically AI, not only conversational chatbot, but in many ways can do, transforming client journey.
Perfect. I mean, there's like living proof, really, of, obviously with a lot of people in my kind of position, in contact center industry, there's a lot of kind of fear and non-understanding, and you just kind of simplified it with your, with your point about, look, while I'm sitting here now, I can order my lipstick, and I was thinking, oh, I hope you're not, but using kind of practical answers like that is very, very, very helpful. We do have one question out there, which I will come to after my next question to our panelists, which is to Andika, actually. Andika, how do you see leaner contact center operations through the use of conversational AI now? And maybe you want to kind of expand, if you can, on that for the, for the immediate future, and what that is. What do we see now as immediate future, probably, or even long-term future? Bit of a.
Okay. I will explain this in a practical point of view. So I think before we have AI, before we have a chatbot, something like that, we have to depend solely on human agents, right, to answer and to give information to our customers. And we know that hiring, also training people for being human agents is really, really costly and takes time. Probably And it carries some burden to the contact center division or department or any groups or team that relies or are responsible for that business. So because of the presence of AI and also the presence of data, we have abundance of data that we can leverage to build an algorithm and build a chatbot, build some analytics dashboard to guide conversation and contact center, something like that. So we have enormous power, I think, to improve and make this contact center leaner. So I think one of the ways I think that we identify, at least in BRI, is most of questions that is asked to the customer service or contact center is really repetitive and uncomplicated. I mean, it's something, a question or some question that is really like an FAQ, and they still ask to human agents, and our human agents are really overwhelmed with that kind of question. They cannot focus on tasks or on activities that really matters to the customers. So with the presence of chatbot, with the presence of AI, we can serve such like a contact center, but it's like based on AI, not human agents, to question such question, and the uncomplicated, repetitive one. Of course, they have the option to ask live agent, but most of the question, based on our experience, it really can be done by the chatbot. So we can reduce like 70% of the load of our customer service, the human agent, and let them really do something that's really valuable for the company, for organization, which is to make a deep relationship with our customers, while the repetitive and uncomplicated questions can be done by the chatbot. So in that sense, I think we can eliminate some waste with the presence of AI, letting the repetitive tasks to be done by AI chatbot, while making a human agents really making valuable things to the organization. I think that's like probably it would be like from the operational point of view, but that's the take, Chris.
Okay, thank you. Let's come to the audience. There's a couple of questions that have been asked, so we'll come to the first one, which is from a Jerome Devchandra. I think this is kind of a question and a statement as well, looking at it. So there are a lot of AI solutions in the market today. Can companies start their journey with conversational AI by going for ready-made platforms or build their own? So build or buy, I think, is the kind of question. And just to expand, I think the statement is, I think he's commented as well, like he rightly mentioned on data, it's not organized and will take time to bring it together for effective use. So let's just look at the question aspects. I mean, who'd like to kick me off on this one?
Andika, if you don't mind, I'll take that question.
Okay, sure.
Because, yeah. So actually, Jerome, right? I mean, the question basically asks whether to. So Chris, he's asking whether to buy from the counter or basically have a customized one. So my answer to that is it depends on what exactly your company wants to solve, or the kind of service that you want to give to your end clients. Lots of companies out there are actually, or tools out there can cater for readily available platforms which may meet your needs 70% of the way, and the other 30% probably needs personalization. I'll give you an example, like where I'm working in, I actually work with the innovation hub within my company, and we innovate the conversational artificial intelligence chatbots so that it's more customized and also it's state of the art out in the market. But that doesn't stop us from actually looking for some very straightforward solutions which are already, available with existing markets or vendors out there. So it all depends on what exactly you want. For example, if you go to Agoda, I'm pretty sure you all have access to Agoda, especially Southeast Asia. If you go and click on your profile, it actually gives you what are the number of cities that you've been to. I only discovered this 2 days ago, so I had no idea. But I was shocked to actually see the number of cities I've traveled and, all the other stats that it actually gives me. For me, it's personalized. This kind of things are very easy. It's easily available, and also based on my chats with them, they have actually taken certain data and give me other statistics as well. If you look at contact centers, for example, there are two things to it, right? It's not only your end client, it's also your internal client. Like what Andika basically was talking just now about Lina Contact Center. There are lots of tools out there, easy tools, easy AI, has been applied where they are able to actually see their performance on a daily basis. That's a big challenge actually, even today in some contact centers where as a human agent, for example, I'm not able to know what is my performance, or even as a chatbot, to get the data, the digital journey of a chatbot, I need to actually go to a different department. So things like this are readily available, on current tools that are vastly available in the market. But one thing that may not suit or may not available in the market is, example, I want to know if I'm going into a meeting, for example. I'm just going to type in what is as a regional manager, I'm going to type in what is my average contact center, handling time across Southeast Asia. Today, that is available within our organization, my company, because we built it. It's very personalized to our organization. So it all depends. Yeah. I hope I've answered. Maybe Andika, you want to add on?
Well, just in summary there, Sipa, you gave an example. You gave many examples of more the buy aspect is probably the better route. But you're saying it's like most things, if it's really kind of bespoke, or if it's really kind of kind of tailored, then obviously that's where the build method is going to take advantage. So I guess that's what I'm gleaning from
So Chris, just one thing there though, you're very right. I just want to also tell you the challenges of actually having customized or bespoke solution is that it's time consuming, it's a lot of trial and error, and we need to know exactly what are we aiming for as an end result. Yeah.
And what you tend to find is that your original kind of cost is one thing, and by the time you get it right, your costs are kind of doubled or trebled. So at least if you go to the market and buy, you know what the price is, from the offset. So hopefully that answered your question. Let's come to the second question here. This is from Doreen and NG. She's saying personalization in some languages can be challenging for customers to adopt. what strategy can brands do for Bahasa and other languages? Anybody fancy that one?
Okay, probably I would like to answer this one, Chris.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, I think this is a very common challenge in natural language processing, because I think most of the available product services related to AI and NLP is for English language, while the others probably, there's some, but not as many as complete as in English. This is also something that we experience in Indonesia, because not many products or service in NLP that really provide us with capabilities of Bahasa language. What we are doing is so what we are doing is, of course, there's some local company that we can cooperate. We can use their services and products, but normally they're not as good as the global providers. There is more experience in that. So what we are doing is we always try. I mean, if we can do retraining based on our language, Bahasa, for instance, okay, let's do it. We can provide them with the data and train model based on the data that we have. It might not work, but it might work. So we can test. We do back testing. We do research first before we use their product services. Sometimes it's worked, but mostly it doesn't work. But at least we try. Of course, we have the option to build ourselves, to build the for instance, the chatbot ourselves. But because we don't have that experience to develop AI chatbot, the possibility to fail also very high, and also we are committing a lot of budget to do that. So yeah, but that's not the option. So the option one that, as I mentioned before, would be to try retrain a model using our language. We can provide our data internal, because it's pretty much represent what we are doing, and hopefully the model can adapt with that. Okay, if it doesn't work, then okay. So if it's really urgent, then we can try to build ourselves. But we have to be ready to commit with the costs that incur during the project, and also the possibility to fail will be higher. But yeah, of course. But I think for most of the product service, that's really common for instance, like chatbot. Most of the language, most of the provider or services already provides the language that we need. But for instance, like for the more complex one, for instance, like the speech to text or text to speech, like voice bot, something like that, probably would be more challenging to find a product service that really fit with the language that you need or require. So I think that's my take, Chris.
Okay, superb, mate. Right, wonderful. Let's come to our next question. This is from Ganeet Singh Bali. And I think this kind of reverts us right back to the beginning with something that you kind of touched on, Siddharth. But can we expect most customers to use voice bot agents in the near future, as human interaction is still preferred?
Yeah, let me just understand the question, Chris. So can we expect most customers to use voice bot agent in the near future as human interaction is still preferred? So I think the question is basically alluding to, whether customer prefer to use voice bots versus human interaction. So again, I'm going to go back to the basics, understanding what a conversational AI chatbot is. Now, Conversational AI chatbots or AI itself is basically just a technology or an intelligence, that will mimic a human intelligence. It can't entirely replace humans. So I think this is something that people need to understand, or the audience need to understand, because today, even for me to actually build an AI chatbot, I need a human intelligence. And who do I go to is basically go back to the basics of your client representatives or your human agents. So there are lots of things where AI chatbots can actually solve for or cater, especially when it comes to efficiency, enhancing your client experience, and also transforming client journey. And you will have clients of different, I'd say, demands or wants. There will be the old school client who would only want to speak with human agents. You still have to cater for them, because that's their preference. And there are lots of your Gen X, Gen Z, or even the new generation that would want to actually get things quicker. I don't need to actually wait on the queue to listen to all the music and then get my questions answered by going through a few different touch points. I just want to know ABC, and if your chatbot can throw the answer to me, voila. That's an experience for me that I am looking for. But to that question, it really depends. What is it that you're offering as an experience? But if you're starting off, or looking into implementing AI or getting on board with AI conversational chatbots, I'd say you should not actually entirely vanish your human agents. Use that to get clients who want quicker, faster, and out of the norm experience. And the rest of it you can use for complex cases, and also to constantly train the machine using natural program language. You still need both of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the question has just popped in. So excuse me, Nagal Tran. I'll come to your question in a while, but this one is kind of relevant. It's kind of an expansion on what we've just been discussing. This is from Zahid Zawawi. It says the FAQs are handled by bots, but still customers prefer to speak to agents for more questions or satisfaction. How to reduce the ratio in contact centers? So it's kind of more about what we were talking about right at the beginning, and it's more about what we've just been talking about now. And I guess probably where we're coming from is that the trouble is with the FAQs, they're kind of just specific, and I suppose that it's like, and obviously we're talking to an Asian culture, and the Asian culture. I mean, I'm here in the Philippines. I should have said that right at the beginning. They kind of question the question. And unfortunately, an FAQ will only answer the first question. And if that isn't been answered correctly, I guess it gets kind of frustrating both for the consumer. So, I mean, I don't know if you've got anything either of you would like to kind of expand on Zahid's question or statement, to be fair.
Hey, Andika, you have anything that to talk? Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
But I think this one is pretty challenging question to answer, because I think that's true. I mean, people sometimes do not satisfy with what the bots already answered. But I think one thing that we can ask is we can do some research and asking what kind of whether the bots or the AI that we provide to the customers really answer or really fits with the needs and requirements of our end users. So we can do some survey and ask them their satisfaction regarding our chatbots. Probably there's something that we're missing regarding our user experience, our user interface, and we can patch on that. So that's, I think, the easiest thing to reduce or to increase the ratio of people contacting chatbots in the contact center. The other thing I think that this is more difficult. I think it's related to the previous question, because if we are talking about the natural experience of interacting with the human, then we have to design our chatbot to more leaning towards or close towards the natural way of human interacting, which is I think it's more difficult to achieve. But yeah, I think the voice bot that was mentioned before would be relevant, but yeah, there's some limitation of technology that has become the boundaries of having this kind of solution. So I think that's kind of things. So the easiest thing would be to ask them the deficiencies, I think weaknesses of our system, the existing system, and do some research, survey. Yeah, it's like validating our products. It's the same thing with doing research survey to our customer. I think we normally use that for our digital application normally, but yeah, chatbot is one of the digital application as well, and we do that research, use user survey research and all, and then do some patching on UI UX probably, and some things based on the customer feedback. But the other one will be like, okay, we can move towards the more advanced technologies, making the interaction more natural. Of course, we can do that, but a lot of limitation on that right now. Of course, it's advancing. It will be more. It will be better as time goes on, because AI is still advancing day by day. But it will be a more difficult path to go through.
Sure. And the last bit about reducing ratio. I mean, this is mainly the FAQs are there to kind of lessen the queuing times, and also the abandonment rates, in terms of center processes. So look, FAQs are there. They are certainly specific, but at the end of the day,
Yeah, sorry, I'm just going to add on that. It was too tempting. I couldn't actually wait till you finish, but I just want to actually give a bit of insight on your FAQ chatbots are actually traditional chatbots. They may not have, the state of the art AI conversational chatbot that's actually available in the market, the last 5 years. Those when you talk about conversational AI chatbots, they should have, be when they were actually being built or even taught, natural NLP, and also the data that is given to them when you're actually developing them should actually connect to different points. They should be able to actually predict, the outcome based on what the client is actually asking. So this tool, is available out there. You can just pick it up the store with a lot of vendors. And so your FAQ chatbots are very traditional. And if you are still, it's not something that you should compare. AI has evolved a lot. So my suggestion would be to actually look at that. And the second thing is the people who are actually sitting down there working with whichever tool, please do know rubbish in, rubbish out. So, if we are actually giving the data that is not relevant, we're not looking into tying it to the end outcome, then, no matter what we are building, you will never actually see the transformation or, the real result or effect of having a conversational AI chatbot. Yeah, I just wanted to highlight.
No, that's great. That's great. That's what you're here for. Right, let's come to the final guest question, and then I have just one last question to ask the panel for a wrapping up process. So our last question on the Q&A. Any major metrics for measuring ROI that can be expected short term?
I can give, my thoughts, on that. Your immediate ROI that you will actually see are your key metrics with your human agents, actually. As contact centers, you have your peak time, you have got, your quiet time. And a lot of contact centers are actually, it's a challenge for them to meet their service level agreements during peak times, and having a conversational AI chatbot there, you will actually, if you can direct your traffic into a conversational AI, give them a different experience, that itself will actually give you a better service level, better average handling time, because, there are clients who are wait time, for example, clients who are just waiting on the queue, wanting to know a simple, I am interested in this product, what are your features, get that directed into chatbot. That these are simple things that chatbot can actually handle. And if they want anything complex, then we can always tell them, why don't I give you a call back? Or why don't I, someone will actually call you at a later time, because the data is actually now available real time for a supervisor to tap in and say, hey, I have got 10 clients waiting, who actually came through the chatbot, who want to know, extra features or, extra questions that they have on a particular product. So why don't I actually look at how can we, serve not only these 10 clients, but also have that available somewhere where clients, it's a reach to client without having to actually contact the contact center. These are some of the immediate return on investment that you actually can see. And also, look inside, in terms of your KPI and performance of your team, you will see a lot more difference, call abandonment rates, average handling time, average talk time, speed of answer, things like this. Yeah. And you will see that actually drop, and you will have more time to probably have, have them time for training and self-development as well. Yeah.
Fabulous. Okay. Well, that's all the questions and answers from our audience at the moment. So let me come to what I kind of see as the summing up kind of question, and I'd like to ask both of you really for your views. Where or how do you see the challenges of achieving optimal results in conversational AI? I don't know who would like to go first. I'm always tempted, Adhika, to say ladies first, but I don't know if you have any preference.
That's fine, Andika. You can take this,
sure.
And then I'll just jump in. Yeah. And
so the question is how we can the challenge of achieving optimal.
Where are the challenges now? Where are the challenges now of achieving optimal results in conversational AI?
Okay, so I think I would like to answer this based on the technology point of view. Of course, when you saying optimized solution, I think this is I think this is the state where the technology really advanced and really can do what humans can do, right? Natural interaction, and then give insights that really accurate based on the emotion and also the things that the customer say, something like that. So I think NLP or AI or machine learning is really a long way to that direction. We still have a lot of challenges. Of course, we have different NLP models that really amazing right now. We have, if you aware that we have like GPT-3 that really can do a lot of things. But even with the billion of parameters inside the AI models or machine learning models, even with the amazing things that GPT-3 can do right now, we still have a long way to go to make the interaction between human and machine really natural. So I think from this point of view, I think the main challenge, creating really a seamless experience, a really natural experience between the bot and also the human. And also from the people's side, I think, yeah, of course we have technology, but of course we have to include the people inside the organization to adopt the technology and to train them, and it involves the culture inside the organization. So I think we have to, as the leader in an organization, we have to encourage or emphasize the importance of using technologies, digitalization inside the organization, and also the importance of having a good change management inside the organization, so they are ready to be digitally transformed. Especially, officially, for some organization, probably they are new to this kind of technology. They haven't implemented such technology in their organization before. So the change management will be one of the things that they need to do properly in order to make this technology really integrated and also really seamlessly embedded inside the organization.
Yeah, thank you. So, Sithar, you can bring us home.
So I'll just probably summarize, the challenges to having optimal AI environment in a few key points. Is basically, one will be cost and aspiration. Two is technology and availability, and the third one will be people and culture. First thing when we talk about aspiration and cost is, we need to have a clear aspiration as to what transformation we are looking for, and whether we have the fund or the capital to actually do that investment. Once that is actually today, I think that's a big challenge. And a lot of companies who want an optimal AI environment, the second point is they do not have the technology or the skills or the environment to onboard that. That. And the third one is actually people and culture, like rightly, like what Andika actually pointed out, adaptation of people, and whether digitization transformation is a culture that is widely encouraged, and practiced in that environment. In that also we can talk about again, rubbish in, rubbish out. I'm sorry to use that word, but that's a term that we always use when technology or digitization, especially pertaining artificial intelligence, actually goes wrong. The first thing that we always say is, the tool is not actually working. The tool is as good as the user using it. And so if we don't have that aspiration, and that is not clearly communicated and it's not synchronized within the organization, then, obviously that's a challenge to achieve optimal result using AI. Number two is technology platform. Again, if we don't have a house, but we want to actually, build a kitchen, that's not possible, because you still need that roof. Right. So having that's a challenge as well. People sometimes onboard technology and tools without knowing what is capable, what their organization is our capability in terms of technology. And the third one is actually people and culture. Yes, I've got all this correct, but the third one is I've never really been an advocate of change or adaptation and everything. I'm going to face lots of resistance. So I'm going to probably end up forcing this down the throat of the user, who will probably, end up not having that interest in, or understanding the tool. So yeah, these are some of the major challenges that you can have there. So it's always not the tool; it's sometimes within these three key pillars, the challenges.
Good, very both of you very, very extensively answered, and thank you very much indeed. I don't have any other questions. And the audience doesn't have any other questions. If you have anything else that you feel that we could cover, then by all means, let's kind of share it. But I just want to say it's been a real pleasure listening to you both. From my perspective, an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your input. Thank you so much for what you've given today, the pair of you. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure, Chris, and thank you so much for the questions to the participants, and also to Jamal and Future Events. Thank you very much.